Nick Roloff. I'm Harrison Graham. Our NBA trade deadline coverage continues, and the Philadelphia 76ers have made their second trade of the day. They acquire Patrick Beverly, and quite frankly, Rolly, in one of the more bizarre moves of the day, they trade out Beverly, I should say, to the Milwaukee Bucks for Cam Payne and a second-round pick. This is like the ultimate shrug emoji move. Like, okay, Milwaukee and Philly, let's swap back up point guards. My best estimation at this, if you're Philadelphia, is you feel like you need scoring punch. You saw the Buddy Hield move earlier, which we'll talk about again. Cam Payne gives you a little more creation than a Beverly does, but got to be honest, come playoff time, I'd rather have Pat Beverly than Cam Payne.
Listen, they both have playoff experience, and listen, I don't think you see backup point guards get swapped for each other often. That is just something that doesn't happen. And it really felt like Patrick Beverly was the perfect Sixers backup point guard behind Tyrese Maxey. His fire, his energy, his passion on the defensive end is really embodying the Philadelphia fan base and what they're all about. But if you're reading the tea leaves on this deal, the Sixers were clearly looking for more offense, as Beverly, not the most offensively inclined guy. Payne is a little more offensive-minded at that point guard position than Beverly. You also get a second-round pick. And if I go back to reading some tea leaves again, like, I'd have to imagine, and Woj kind of said it a little bit earlier, that, like, Philadelphia and Daryl Morey basically know that they're getting Kyle Lowry in the buyout market, assuming he is bought out. Now, he's your backup point guard behind Maxey. You also have Payne. Intriguing situation, but with Joel Embiid being out, you do need a little bit more offense, and you do get a little bit more offense with Cam Payne, but I'm a big fan of Beverly's game. I would have liked to see him stay in Philadelphia because everything I mentioned, his defense, his personality, it just fits the city of Philly. I'm surprised they moved off of him.
Yeah, and I feel like the Sixers are a team that need that edge and toughness come playoff time. They've wilted in so many moments, so I am a bit surprised. Give us your one-word reaction to the trade. That would be my one word, surprised.
I'd be shocked. That's mine.
It's a weird one, no doubt. I do want to tie the Kyle Lowry thing into this part of the discussion, though, because it just feels like they at least have a strong intuition that they're going to land him. He played at Villanova. He's a Philly type of guy, right? Like, now, is Kyle Lowry a huge needle mover? No, but he could still shoot the three ball. He can dish the basketball. He played a pretty notable role on that Heat run last year to the finals. I thought he played pretty good in the postseason. So you get him in there. I think the combination of him and Payne is better than just Beverly, but did you have to get rid of Beverly to get Lowry? I don't really know. I do feel like the Sixers are the heavy front runner to land Kyle Lowry if he gets bought out. I really do think that is a very much likely scenario.
Yeah, and listen, Kyle Lowry can bring some nice things to a team that really could use a veteran mind and voice in that locker room. And you've just seen them fail time after time in the postseason. Maybe Lowry helps them. I think he's cooked. I mean, I watched him play for my team for way too long, and he's infuriating when he has the ball in his hands because he refuses to shoot the basketball unless there's like 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And he can knock down the three. He was shooting at one point this season 44% from beyond the arc. He had a rough stretch at the end of December into January, which ended up leading him to be dealt to Charlotte in return for Terry Rozier when you looked at Miami. But you think Lowry goes to that roster. Now, how much will he impact that team? Who knows? But when you're thinking about this trade, like, I am almost looking at it as like the Sixers are receiving Kyle Lowry and Cam Payne plus a second-round pick for Patrick Beverly. Like, that's how I look. That's how I view this trade.
Yeah. If they don't get Lowry, it's almost even more weird at that point, for being completely honest. More to come. Let's tell you first, though, about our sponsor. That is Prize Picks. We appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Daily Fantasy made easy. If you've never played Daily Fantasy, it's a lot of fun. It is easy with Prize Picks because you just pick 2 to 6 players on any given entry, regardless of sport. You can cross over sports in your pick, and you just take more or less on different statistical categories. Like Patrick Mahomes, they're giving you a deal for the Super Bowl, half a passing yard. So obviously you take the more there. I like Brock Purdy on the scramble. He's been running a lot in the playoffs. I think he gets more there with the rushing yards. Isaiah Pacheco, he's been a touchdown machine. I think he finds pay dirt this Sunday. And then Kyle Juszczyk, I think, will get at least one touch in this football game. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. We appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Go check out that link in the comments and in the description of this video. Should mention, by the way, we are filling in for Chase Sr., who is out in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. So go follow him at Chase_Sr. He's doing some awesome work out there. He'll be back next week. Okay, let's rediscuss this one, Rolly, as well. I broke this one down here on Sixers Now earlier today. I like this move. This one's not a head-scratcher to me. You get a proven scorer, especially at the three-point level. A guy in Buddy Hield who has led the NBA in most total three-pointers made for when you combine the last 5 years, which is pretty impressive when you think about it with the amount of with how much of an emphasis the three-point shot has been in that time, and he's number one in made threes. You dump Marcus Morris, Furkan Korkmaz, 3 second-round picks. If Joel Embiid can get back and get healthy, I think Buddy Hield can have a huge impact on this team in the playoffs, and I think he gives you some scoring punch now to help Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris while Joel Embiid is out. I like this move, Nick.
Yeah, listen, he's one of the best three-point shooters in NBA history. Yeah, I said it, NBA history. That is a true
He's
statement.
going to finish top 5, top 10 in career-made threes probably.
I mean, he's been absolutely terrific in his career spanning between Sacramento, Indiana, and now he's going to be in Philadelphia where he's going to be paired up. The only thing that intrigues me is to see what Nick Nurse does with Buddy Hield. Does he start alongside Tyrese Maxey in that backcourt, or is he brought off the bench as a sixth man? And, like, when you think of a fully healthy Clippers team potentially closing down the stretch, you have Tyrese Maxey. You now have Buddy Hield. You have Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, and a healthy Joel Embiid. Like, that's a dangerous five-man lineup that can really get after it offensively. Now, I will say, Buddy's not the most defensively inclined player, but he can score the rock, and he's had seasons where he scored 15-plus a contest. So when you're missing Joel Embiid for an extended period of time, month or more, and you needed some other scorers outside of Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, Buddy Hield will fill that role, and he'll only help your spacing in the postseason alongside Maxey and Joel Embiid. I'm bullish on this move. I thought it was a sneaky good one. And only giving up 3 second-round picks alongside a couple players that really didn't do much for you anyway, big fan.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus Morris just isn't the same guy. And by the way, Furkan Korkmaz has requested a trade like multiple times. And
finally got it granted.
Worst player to ever request a trade.
After 2 or 3 years, they finally got it.
Grade that trade, A, B, C, D, or F. I think it's a B+, A-. If Embiid comes back, I think the grade even becomes higher. It's an expiring deal, so worst case, it doesn't work out. You lost a few second-round picks. Kind of no harm, no foul. So you got to look real quick as we wrap up this segment here of just what the Sixers' outlook was heading into the trade deadline. Robert Covington is still a piece. Maybe you flip him for something. You needed shooting. You add that with Buddy Hield. I don't think you've added 3-and-D wing help. If anything, you've gotten worse there by flipping Pat Bev for campaign. Backup big, can you swing an Andre Drummond before the deadline? I think that'd be a perfect fit.
Bring him back.
He could start while Joel Embiid is hurt. I don't love Paul Reed as a starter there. Maybe a guy like PJ Tucker on the buyout market. You could try to
bring him back.
Is
that allowed?
Actually, I don't know.
I'd
have to double check that.
Yeah,
I don't think the Sixers can bring him back. But that type of player, a guy who can give them some front court defense, I think would definitely be very, very important. All right, Sixers Now. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on Chat Sports. If you're a Sixers fan, youtube.com/76erstv. If you're watching our Sixers channel, hit the subscribe button. If more moves come, we will break them down.